Let me start this one from a place of relief. You know that moment when movie night finally feels effortless instead of fiddly? That's the first night you live with the Denon AVR-X2800H. This is for the kind of person who's tired of patchwork systems. You don't want to stack fixes on top of fixes anymore. You want one solid core that everything connects to cleanly, predictably, and without drama. You care about order, not chaos disguised as power. Before anything else, check the current price and stock. Receivers that sit in this sweet spot don't stay quietly available forever, and delay is usually what people complain about later. You probably realized it was time when sound started breaking immersion instead of building it. Dialogue that forced rewinds. Surround effects that felt random. Bass that showed up late or too loud. You knew your speakers weren't bad, you just didn't have a strong enough center holding everything together. The first few days with this feel calm. Sound arrives exactly where it should. Voices stay anchored. Effects move naturally. You stop thinking about settings because the system stops fighting itself. That sense of stability changes how much you enjoy every session. You notice it during long movie nights when volume stays balanced scene to scene. You feel it while gaming when direction and space suddenly matter. You experience it with music when separation becomes obvious instead of blurred. Even casual streaming feels more composed, like everything finally has a backbone. The performance doesn't try to impress you with chaos. It earns trust through consistency. Once you experience sound that behaves this predictably, weaker setups feel exhausting instead of familiar. Take another look at availability before deciding. AVRs that balance modern formats with real control tend to disappear quietly once people realize what they solve. If you're worried it might be too advanced, that fear fades quickly. It scales with you. And here's the surprise benefit: confidence in the future. You stop wondering whether your system will handle the next upgrade, the next console, the next format. It already feels ready. Owning this feels like locking in a foundation. You don't feel temporary anymore. You feel settled, like your system finally has a brain worthy of the rest of your gear. Dialogue feels centered and natural. Surround sound feels intentional and placed. Bass feels controlled, not overwhelming. Music feels layered and clean. Every input feels consistent and reliable. Yes, it needs quality speakers to shine. And setup takes a bit of patience up front. At some point, you stop comparing receivers. You choose the one that lets you stop tweaking and start enjoying. Check the price, check the stock, and make the decision while it still feels straightforward. This is one of those upgrades where the real regret isn't buying it, it's remembering how long you lived with sound that never quite felt right.